We had a little technical difficulty, but we're here. I am so excited about this spotlight. This has been almost what? How many years in the making, ladies? This is middle school. I'm so excited. So if you are joining us, hold on, let me solo for a second. I'd like to welcome you guys to the STEMsation Spotlight. I have two amazing guests that I'm super, super excited about. These were my former students. I'm showing my age. They were my middle school students from the almighty Craig Middle School. I am Nikisha Washington, CEO and founder of Nyla Dene Enterprises, where we inspire and encourage girls to have confidence, character, and class as they become future leaders. We want them to become future STEM leaders. But if not, we just want them to become future leaders, but have the skills and tools necessarily to be successful in any field that they choose. If you've been following us, I got to get a quick plug in. Yes. We have some, hold on, book us out. We have some Nyla Nova. These books are for preschool girls up until like second grade, but you can read them and do activities. Nyla, can y'all be a little quiet, please? Thank you. Craziness. All right, so I've designed these based on my daughter, Nyla Dene. They're Nyla Nova. They're preschool age, which she helped me design them, but they're helping girls find the STEM superhero. And so they do activities, mazes, puzzles, math, science, to get them encouraged and start them early, because I want them to grow up with like these ladies that I have coming up now, our STEMsations for the week. I'm super excited. Yay! For my former students, I've been watching them just grow and prosper and just doing their thing in their own chosen fields, but they are near and dear to my heart. So I have and if you have not checked out their article, I will have a link to each of their articles. Our Wednesday spotlight was Miss Stephanie Richmond. Is it Wink? Is that how you say your last name?
Winky.
She got married on us. Yes, she's grown. She's super grown now. And then I also have my Lacy Watts. Hi, Lacy. If you have not seen her article, we will have the link as well. So just want to welcome everyone. We want this to be interactive as possible. So if you're out watching, if you can please hearts and likes and say hi and leave questions, and we'll make it interactive. We don't just want to do all the talking. We want to be interactive with our audience. Share this out to your Facebook. And ladies, if you have not shared it out to your Facebook, if you go to Nyla Dene, where it had that reminder, share it to your page, and then they can follow along on your page as well. So we're going to do that real quick. Let me get the articles, and then we'll be ready to go. Yes. Baby, can you turn it down just a little bit? All right, I think we're about ready to begin. Put their article links. There's Lacy. So if you have not read their articles, these ladies are phenomenal, STEMsational, and STEMtastic. Please check them out. Let me get Stephanie's ready. And then we're just trying to get some more people to log in. We don't want nobody to miss it. I think I hear it now, Lacy. There was something.
Oh, you do? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off just to make sure.
Okay. All right. So while we're waiting, we're gonna go ahead. Stephanie, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So we're gonna give Stephanie. Our first question is, who is Stephanie? So this is your introduction. Tell us about who you are. Who's your inspiration? How you got to this point? All right, so we're gonna start with Stephanie. Go ahead, give you the screen. Yes.
Well, I'm 23 years old. I am a former Craig middle school student. Woo woo, go Cougars!
Yeah.
And I've always loved science. Like STEM has always been my thing. But now I work as a research and development chemist. So I make products for Black women, for Black hair.
Yeah.
So I love doing that. Like, YouTube has been a hobby of mine for years. So to be able to actually be making the products that they actually review is amazing. So yeah.
That's awesome. Now, I know you, what high school did you go to? Did you go to LC?
LC.
LC?
Yep.
All
Yep.
right, in the Lawrence Central
Yeah.
Bears alumni. Yes. 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 All right, Lacy, it is your time. Tell us about yourself or
Yes. So, as Mrs. Washington said, my name is Lacy Watts. I am a former student of hers from Craig Middle School. I think you taught me in, was it seventh grade?
seventh grade. Seven.
Science. So I currently reside in the South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area. I'm currently a healthcare recruiter, so I place registered nurses, therapists, techs, and other healthcare professionals in various hospitals and outpatient facilities. But the ultimate goal for me is actually to become a physician. I'm interested in pediatrics and also neonatology. Still kind of deciding where I want to go from there. But that's my ultimate goal, and this is a great stepping stone for me to gear towards that direction.
Yes, awesome.
Wow.
I'd like to say too, Lacy helped do one of our blog posts where she was giving tips to incoming freshmen on how to survive. You know, don't just show up. Like you have to have a strategy. And so I just thank you for doing that as well. I just love watching you guys. I swear, some people hate Facebook or hate social media, but it helps you keep connected. And that's how I was able to keep connected with you guys. And I'm like, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I'm so excited. But it's so funny as a teacher, you always notice your shining stars. You just know from seventh grade. I knew you guys. I knew your families very well. I was like, oh, that's the stock right there. Like I knew, I had no doubt you guys were going to get to this point and go beyond. And so I'm just so proud of you guys. And I just thank you for giving me this time. I had to have you both on at the same time. So I was like, I just love them both and I want them on here. So just watching you guys. And so I know Miss Stephanie just graduated. Yes.
Yes, just got my master's cosmetic science, so that's exciting. I told Lacey too. I said I was up next when she got hooded. So
yes, yes. Oh, I forgot. Yes, Lacy got her master's. Yes,
yeah.
and she's on the way to be that physician. So I'm super excited. And what I love about this, just doing STEMsation Spotlight, it's for girls and even people that are going into the fields to see there's so much diversity. And so one is going for neonatology and one is going for cosmetic scientists. And I always tell the young girls, don't limit yourself. Like some of them want to be makeup artists and do all this. And I said, why not be the person that come up with your own line that's designing it? And I always talk about Stephanie. I was like, Stephanie's designing stuff. She's doing hair care products and stuff. Like that's going to last, you know, not saying that their makeup won't, but like give something else. Like why not go in it and you own your own product? You're not using someone else's product. And then I love that what Lacy's doing is she's not only in the stuff, but she's recruiting. So hey, thank you for that. Make sure we keep some diversity going. And I follow Lacy on LinkedIn. When I say she's a LinkedIn, she's LinkedIn because she's always promoting and promoting. I was like, look at her, go ahead, recruiting herself. So and recruiting for the job. So thank you, ladies, again. All right. So our next question is, why did you choose your career? And so, and please talk about if you changed direction or if you always knew from the start. Let us know because I want people to know. Sometimes you know out the gate what you want to do, and sometimes, like me, I was going for engineering. Then I started having kids, and life came, and I was like, "Oh Lord, all right, teaching it is," you know. And then I'm blessed that I was able to be a teacher because if not, I wouldn't have met such wonderful ladies as you are. So it worked out. So Stephanie, we'll start back with you. Why did you choose your career?
Well, like I said, like chemistry in high school was like amazing. Like I love science. Even in middle school, I love science. Like, and then, but that was more like biology and stuff that they teach in middle school. High school chemistry came so easy. It was so much fun. And a lot of people were like, "Oh, I hate this," and it's like, yeah, I was like, I love it. So then undergrad, I studied biochemistry. I was actually pre-pharm. And because I wanted to actually create something. So I was like, oh, let me create the medicine. Yeah. But then I realized what pharmacists actually do, and they don't make it. They just prescribe or they just fill the prescription. I said, okay, I don't really want to do that. I want to actually make something. So I'm sitting in biochemistry class one day, and they started talking about biotin, and they started talking about hair and like vitamin D and melanin. And I was like, somebody makes the wait a minute. People make the products that I use. Who does that? So I'm Googling. I'm like, cosmetic chemist, and then a light bulb was just like bam. I started looking stuff up, and I found that my school, University of Cincinnati, had that master's program, and it was on from that. I was like, I have to do this. Like from 2015, I was like, I have to become that. Like it was on after that, basically.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That is great. And like you said, I love because now like I'm taking like biotin and stuff, vitamins and stuff. I was like, yeah, because my nails getting a little weak. They're like, I'm like, so the stuff that you said, I'm like, this is stuff that we don't even realize that is very helpful to us and stuff. And like I said, because when people think about science, it's so broad. Like you said, you can start at one and then end up somewhere else. But once that light bulb hits, you know exactly what you want to go for. And so I applaud you for doing that. And that's awesome. Like you said, I want to create. Mm-hmm. So good luck in that. All right, Lacy, tell us about why did you choose your career?
So I was actually exposed to medicine from a very young age. Shout out to my uncle, Dr. Vincent Johnson.
All right, doctor. Yes, uncle. Yes.
Actually an internal medicine physician, and I kind of was exposed to the field very young age. Knew I wanted to help people, knew I liked science. I would say from the age of like 4 or 5, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. Now the why, that grew from there. As far as taking certain courses, shadowing experiences, traveling abroad, mission trips and things like that, that just expanded the why for me. So I would say at this point in my life, it's allowing me to combine so many of my different passions, not only to help people, but help people and have a direct impact on not only their lives and also their families' lives as well. And I feel like with the career in medicine, you have the opportunity to really assist and help people when they're most vulnerable. You know, when they're sick, when they're in really stressful situations, when their family is in a stressful situation, you know, that's the opportunity where I personally feel like that I'll have a significant impact. And then also too, the underrepresentation of Black women and Black people in general in the field of medicine is it's honestly is outstanding. And I feel like I have that opportunity to really become a patient advocate, and to show individuals that it can happen and we can do it, and to really, you know, increase the representation of people of color in the field of medicine. And so that's why I feel like I have to continue. Not there yet, but I can't give up because of that primary reason in and of itself.
Yes, you guys are going to continue. I will hound you down. Like, yes.
I know you will.
You guys are living my dream. So it's like, you know, and then you don't realize how you are inspiring the generation behind you guys. So that's why I love it. I love to see all the stuff. And what I love that you guys still have your lives. Like Stephanie's a wife now. I'm like, what? Stephanie? What are you married at 23? She's a wife. And, you know, Lacy loves to travel. Like Lacy's passport is tattooed up. Okay. So, and those don't know that she also can speak French fluently. So, you know, so she's over in Paris and doing all that stuff. So I watch you guys and I'm like, you're living my dream. So you guys will continue. I'm going to make sure of it because I need you so I can see, you know, and like, look, I know her. Yes, yes. So I'm super excited. I just want to say those that are watching, please say hi. Please give us some hearts and some thumbs up and just ask any questions that you may have. We want it to be as interactive as possible. And please share this out to your Facebook page. Share where people see it, please. All right. Our next question is, what did you like most about your career? And I know some, you know, you guys are kind of fresh in your career, but just your field. And what did you see that you can really do in your field? So Stephanie, we're going to start back with you. What do you like most about your career?
Wow. Probably the fact that now when y'all go in the store and y'all in Target and y'all looking at the Black hair care aisle, y'all can look at some of those brands and say, a Black woman actually worked on that. Because let me tell you, there's not that many. There's a lot of products for us and the company might be Black owned. A lot of times they're not Black formulated, which is fine. They work well, but to have my personal input, like now at work, before something goes out to a customer, they say, hey, Stephanie, try this. Hey, Stephanie, does this work well? Is this what y'all want? Like, is this what people want? Like, what do they want? So I know what's missing. Like, I did a poll on my Instagram and was like, hey, what are y'all using? What do y'all love? Like, you know, like what's out there that needs to be done? Because I can actually directly use me being a Black woman to make things for Black women. Whereas before, like, it's rare that you actually see someone making stuff for us that is one of us. So like, that's probably my top thing, being able to be creative and knowing that someone's actually touching something that I made. Like, it's amazing.
That is so true. And it was just so funny because right before I got on, I was at Target and I was looking in the aisles And so Michelle Rodriguez, who I just absolutely love her, Mael hair products and stuff. Yes, and then she stays in Crown Point, Indiana, which is up there by Gary, where I'm from. So I feel like we're like homegirls. She don't know I follow on Facebook, and just to see how she's built her empire with her husband and her kids, and they go to Sunday church and they take selfies for Sunday, and I just follow them, and I'm like you said, I love to see that she looks like me and she's doing it and making the hair for us, because like you said, a lot of those products we are not making it. It says it's for us, and you just think someone's behind the count, behind in the lab doing it for us, and they're not, And then I just saw this, it's not off topic, but I just saw when they were someone asked about the hair type, and they were like, is it true about everybody has different hair types? And then someone said it was almost a ploy to just get people to buy certain products, because we all know, especially African American hair, it's different texture. Like you might have the silky smooth up here, and back here is the 4C they call it, different hair textures. And so they kind of came up with that. So the people that are not us, that doesn't look like us, that's making it, can kind of steer us to a certain brand.
Right.
Yes. Of that. And so that's why we have someone like Stephanie on the forefront. She's like, I'm falling to that tribe. This is what you need. This is what you don't need. Because I'm be like calling her now. I'm being targeted like, how about this? This is what I need. So now, Stephanie, I'm about to call you. And guys, if you have not checked out her article, her email is there where she can answer some of your questions and stuff. And like she said, you can follow on Instagram, Facebook. So make sure you do that. Before we move to the next question, Brandy Brown, which I am so happy that she's tuned in. Brandy is my marketing person, and I haven't talked to her in a while. So I want to say, hey, Brandy, how are you doing? She says, how does it feel to speak to your former students on your own platform now? And I'm not going to cry because I'm a crier, but I want to cry because this is what this is all about. This is when because as you guys know, I had sons. And so, I was always at the football games doing stuff for sons, but then I always wanted to do stuff for girls. And so at Craig Middle School, we started STEMsation and Miss Anderson. And so it's like we had all these girls and all these babies. And then, we branched out to LN, and then we went to Belzer, and then we went to the elementary schools. And so I've always been connected to girls. I always wanted girls to succeed, whether it was through dance, STEM. So this is just like I say, 20 years almost in the making of getting to this point. So I'm like, it was not in vain. It's just great. And then once I had my daughter, who, was like, oh, okay, my son was a senior in high school. And I'm like, what am I doing? But God does not make mistakes. So it inspired me to go even further. And so to create this platform where I am encouraging girls in a different realm, not so much do dance anymore, but through the STEM movement, because we are not represented in the STEM fields. And this is what my dream is, that I taught you guys in 7th grade, and just to see how you taking it to the whole next level. Why not start kids in preschool, start getting them exposed, letting them know what a beaker is, and problem solving and critical thinking skills, and solving mazes and puzzles. So that's why it's just awesome, because I'm like overjoyed. I just am. So that's that questions. And then she asks, and ladies, how does it feel to reconnect with your former teacher? And she had hashtag Black Girl Magic. So Stephanie, we'll start with you. How does it feel?
It's amazing. Like you said, with inspiration, like I will never forget, because here's the thing about inspiration. I don't know if you know, but when I was at Craig, elementary school, I was in stretch, right? Okay. So out of 2 kids, there's 2 Black ones, right? You go to Craig Middle School, I finally, my electives, like I was still in stretch, but my electives finally, oh my gosh, more people, because once again, my main classes, 6 out of my 8 periods were me. It was just me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I need something else. Then you posted, we started inspiration. I was like, I have to join that. And then I walk in a room and it's 50 plus.
Oh, it was 125.
Girls, like it changed everything. Like my friends in my core class were like, oh, Stephanie, that was so cool. Oh my God, that's so cool. Can I join? I'm like, yeah, you can join, but it was just like to have something that was for me, to help me identify with myself. Like it just changed the game, like completely. Because I wouldn't have met those people because they're not in my classes. Unfortunately, to have a full outlet that has people that look like me in a club was just like life changing, because it changes. You can finally, like, I could be around my own people at school and not have to feel so like, oh my gosh, I'm the only one in here. Like no one understands my music or my hair or anything. So it's like,
Everything.
it was beyond a club. It was
It was a movement. It was definitely a movement. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
And it was fun too.
Oh yeah, I said we had fun. Now that was it. Yes.
So
go ahead, Lacy.
No, I was just gonna say for me, it really is amazing just to really see everything come full circle and to still connect with somebody who's had such a significant impact on my life, and even to this day, to still connect with her. And we talk on a regular basis. And like you were saying, you know, people say what they want about social media, but it really has allowed us to stay connected and you know what's going on. And I was even in a histology class in grad school and remembered something. I'm not even kidding. I'm dead serious on this. I was in histology and cell biology class in grad school and remembered something. We were learning about the different parts of the cell. And there was something that has stuck with me all the way from my 7th grade science class. We had the Cell City project.
Yes, Cell City.
Stuck with me from that were still helping me to remember things in my grad school level course from 7th grade.
I remember you tagged me on that and I cried that day too. Like,
it really is just for everything to come full circle and just, you know, the substantial impact that you've had on me and to this day, until to be able to just, you know, give back in any way that I can and inspire, you know, girls just like you've inspired me. It's just a really amazing experience, to be completely honest.
Thank you. And just going back, like I said too, about the whole inspiration. It started up because, you know, it seemed like our girls was not connected to the school. They couldn't be on the cheerleading team. They couldn't do this. And so we were like, we'll be able to bring the drill team back. We said we have 25 kids. That's it. We walked in that room. We were like, we're going to need some more copies. What is this? Like, and we wouldn't have never known, and the school would have never known there was so many girls disconnected and girls of color. Because, and then it was so crazy because I couldn't step, I couldn't dance, and half the girls there couldn't either. They just wanted to be a part of something.
Actually.
So we had to come up with, okay, you're in the pep squad. And I'm like, yeah, we could stay in the stands and clap our hands, but I wasn't going on that floor. People ask me, how you do this routine? I don't know. I'm just here to make sure y'all don't hurt each other. You know, like we're in there having a good time. So it's just crazy how that become this movement. And like you said, and it was fun. It was something after school. But It connected us, and that first year was the best because we had like awards programs and everything, and so it was awesome. So thank you guys for that. All right, back to this. All right, what would you change about your career? What would you change about your career, or just some of the things that you encountered in school? Especially like you said, Stephanie, about being one of the only ones in stretch program, and those that don't know what the stretch program is, it's one of those advanced programs that you had to like test into. And then to me, I even had to make sure that they tested my son because it's not like something they give to the African Americans. Now they do, but at first it was like our numbers were so small. And if parents didn't speak up, they would be like, okay, well, we didn't know you were interested. Well, how you know, why not? Why wouldn't I read? So definitely. So what would you change about your career or just your journey up until now? And we'll start with Stephanie again.
Okay. The only thing I would say I would change was probably trying to be more active on my campus. Freshman year at UK was, because I went to University of Kentucky freshman year of college, and I was involved there and I had friends, but there was actually a big culture shock for me. And it's crazy because I didn't think I'd have a culture shock because, you know, I came from Lawrence. Lawrence is diverse. My classes didn't always look like me, but my extracurriculars did. So you can meet a lot of people. But UK, it's like my community got even smaller and they kind of overwhelmed me. And then so when I transferred, like my school didn't have that much transfer student support as far as like academics, clubs, things like that. So it kind of affects how you go through. Like my sophomore year was my hardest year academically, emotionally, because I just felt like I kind of felt by myself. But the only thing I could lean on was like, okay, well, I got to get this degree anyway. So I just buried myself in school. But just having that would have been more helpful. But then I met a mentor. Thank God for a mentor.
Yeah.
And pulled me out. Like, but in the sophomore year, she was like, okay, you had a bad year, but we're going to pull you out of that. I'm going to connect you with this person, and you're going to do this and that. And like, it literally just, she was like, oh, we're going to encourage you. You're going to go to grad school. Cause I had given up on grad school altogether after freshman year.
No.
It was like, no, you're going to go to grad school. Find what you want to do. Go. Like you're going. So just that, but I would try to like have more support for students who change their path. Cause when you change your path, it can kind of feel overwhelming because you're like, okay, did I do something wrong? Like, how do I bounce back? Because it's kind of easy to stay on the same path, but if you have to veer, it kind of gets stressful because you're trying to still become something. So that's probably one thing I would change.
And that's so true. Something I always harp about too on here is about having a mentor, having an advisor, and someone that's already gone through what you're going through, because your family can support you for so far, but they don't know that experience. So if you got somebody to say, hey girl, it's gonna be super hard, but you can do it, and saying, what you need to do, what steps you need to take, or who you need to see in where you're at, that kind of helps too. So that's awesome that you gave that advice. Also, our viewers, hey guys, say hey out there. I have been up putting a link to their individual articles. So if you see their face and see the article underneath, make sure that you go check their articles out, leave comments. We are doing flashback because they did this way at the beginning when I first started STEMsation. This was before we did the interviews and stuff. And I was like, no, I need to get them on live now. We have updated their articles. So if you read it before, go back and try it now because they do have new stuff. All right, Lacy, up for you. What would you change about your career or your journey up to this point?
That's a good question. So I'll start with what I would change if I had to go back and change something about my journey. So at first, I did go ahead and get a master's, of course, before going to medical school. And if you had asked me before, if I would have still done it, like before I actually finished the program, I would have said, yeah, I wish I had gone straight through, just because of time and different things like that. But honestly, I'm actually glad that I went a more non-traditional route.
Okay.
And the reason being is because I feel like that I'm going to be even more prepared when I do get there, because I have taken, a lot of the classes that I will see, in medical school. What I would change is probably what I majored in college. I'll be honest with you. I think I made things a little bit too more difficult than they needed to be. And I didn't know that I had options. So I'll give you an example. Like for me personally, I majored in health sciences with a pre-med concentration. So
okay.
My full major was pre-professional health sciences. So I ended up taking just science, never getting a break. I minored in French because I needed something that I could,
Right.
I love French. So I did my French minor. But if I could go back, I probably would have majored in French and then just took my prerequisites for medical school on the side as like electives or like that, versus just having so much science and just never really getting a break and kind of, I'm gonna be honest, burning myself out. And so
I bet.
they think that those who are interested in medicine, they think that you have to major in something like health sciences or biology. And honestly, that's a huge misconception. You don't have to major in anything science related in order to go to medical school or dental school or podiatry school, or any professional school for that matter. You just have to make sure that you complete the prerequisite classes for the particular program that you're interested in. So for me, I would say, yeah, I probably would have majored in something that I enjoyed more and then had my science, maybe minored in biology or something and got my science classes in that way. So if I had to change, that's probably what I would change.
Wow, I didn't even know that. You guys have taught me something. Like, wow.
I'm over here shook. I'm like, what? I know people who can major because it's closer to med school, but I'm like, now I think about it. A doctor, it's a lot about people. It's like, I mean, it's a percentage people and a percentage science. So you
and they're focused more of that interaction with people now, because on the MCAT, which is the medical college admissions test, that's the test that, for anyone who's watching who doesn't know, that's the test that all students who want to pursue a career in medicine have to take in order to, it's basically like the SAT when you apply to college. So you have to get score in order to be more competitive when you're applying different things like that. So even on the MCAT, there's a full section for psychology and sociology. And that wasn't on the old MCAT, that wasn't the case. So they really, honestly, they're striving for individuals who know how to interact with people more. You know, they're not just focused on the sciences and did you get all A's in your biology, your organic chemistry classes?
Wow, I did not
You
know
know how
that.
do you know how to understand people? Do you know how to be a patient advocate? You know, those are things that they're focusing on more now, which is good in my opinion. I think it's excellent.
Right, because now you want that bedside manner. You want someone that can be empathetic, and not just come in and say, "Hey, well, you're dying," and walk away. And you're like, "What?" Like, come back here. So that is awesome. Yes, yes. All right, our next question. How do you combat the stigma of being a woman of color in STEM? And so, especially when you're going to those classes, or you're going for different things, you might be the only one. And some people say them little sly remarks, or they don't expect you to get the top grades. Or how do you deal with that? And I know you got to still be professional, but how do you deal with that? So, Stephanie, we'll start back with you.
Yeah, it's funny you said that. When you said that, it reminded me of like, a little backstory. Like this was calculus 1 in college, which is something I retook because high school, it was not clicking, which is fine,
Right.
But if it's not clicking the first time, just take it again. But I was in class and these two guys were sitting in front of me, and my class was like 100 and something people, but there wasn't very many of me, especially women. So I got like a 90 something. Keep in mind, I had learned it before, so I really fine tuned it this time.
Right.
And they were talking about their grade. They're like, "Oh, I got a 50, I got a 40." I'm just like, okay. I've been there. And they're like, "Oh," turn around and looking at me like, "What did you get?" Expecting mine to be lower. So I was like, "Oh, I got a 90 something." They're like, "How?" And I'm like,
because I'm smart.
I studied, like I learned it. So just dealing with that is more so like, it just inspires me honestly to keep going, because it's like the more that I keep going, the more a woman will come and ask me, "Oh, I want to be in your career. How do I do it?" And the more that happens, the more that there will be, to where it won't be a surprise anymore. I could see in like 10 years, us being in STEM is not going to be a shock, because I see so many women, so many people of color, like just going after it full force.
Yeah.
And even at my job, honestly, it's not even a stigma at my job. It's my biggest advantage, because no one's going to know what I know. So fortunately at my job, no one can really say anything negative about it, because it's like me doing this makes you have to pay me more money. It makes you have to come to me for advice. So it works in my job, my career field, but also when we go to like industry events and stuff, I still look around and I'm like, wow, we're driving the music industry and there's not that many of us. But there are a lot. There's a lot more than you think. We're just really behind the scenes. So as far as work, it's a huge advantage, because I can kind of be the bridge between people outside of our community who are just scientists and don't know much, and I can be like in our community, like just be a bridge between the two. So the stigma thing is just, I gotta keep going, because people will hit me up on LinkedIn, on Instagram, "Hey, I'm so and so and I want to be a cosmetic chemist too. How do I do it?" So I'm like, "Oh, I gotta keep going. Like I have to keep going."
That's awesome. Stephanie, that reminded me of a story I had too. Because before teaching, I was going for engineering. And so my first year, that first semester, I was there full time. But the spring semester, I was pregnant with Trey, my oldest. And so I had to miss, and he was born in March. So I missed like 4 weeks. So from March to April, from a chemistry class. So my best friend was in class, she was taking notes and stuff. I came back and took the test, like when everybody else took the test. And so the professor was passing out the test, and he was like, "Someone here who hasn't even been here for 4 weeks got the highest score." And so, everybody looking around, and so me and my friend like, "Is he talking about you?" I was like, "Girl, I don't think so, And so, but like you say, the others were like, "Oh, it must be Sally. She had an asthma. She was gone like 2 days." I'm like, he said 4 weeks, like, and I'm thinking like, I just had a baby. You ain't seen me for 4 weeks. So he stopped at me and said, "Congratulate." I was Miss Williams back then. He was like, I was probably melting before then, but anyway, he was like, "Thank you, congratulate, stand up, take a bow." And I was like, "Okay." And I looked at them like, it wasn't Sally.
It was Nakisha. It wasn't no Sally.
Yeah, but see, they don't even, like, we're not even a thought. Like, it's like, oh, it can't be her. And I'm like, he said 4 weeks. Y'all know I haven't been here all of March. And then, so I came back like, "Hey, y'all. Hey." Yeah. Right. But like you said, like, because I've always loved STEM. I was always smart. So it was just studying. So I took the test. I was like, okay, I was at home teaching myself, feeding the baby, and so that's why I always encourage girls, whatever comes into your life, kids, you have to take a job, whatever it is, just don't give up on your dreams. You can do it. You can do it. And so just find what's best for you and find that balance, but just never stop. I always keep making moves. And that's what I did. I kept making moves, but it felt so good when he stopped in front of me. And I was like, yeah. And so that was validation for me to know that I made the right choice. I had my son, but I was still able to do what I needed to do for me as well. So that works. And so Andrea Carr, I know that person, says hi. She got a little clapping hands. Hey, mom. Like I said, I've been knowing your parents for so long. Like, you guys have like the greatest family. Like, Lacy has a sister that did she finish, get her bachelor's already?
Yes. So one sister is in college. The other one, she graduated. So.
And it was like they took this little picture and it was all in with their graduation. I said, boy, their parents, I give it to your parents. Your parents are the stuff, the bomb. Yours too, Stephanie. Like, I said good stock. When it's good, like you guys were never a problem in class, and you could tell the parents that are behind those students that don't play. I'm like, I never had to direct or say, let me say at the college. I'm like, no, you never had to do that with you guys. That's why I just love it. And you can see where you guys are at right now. So, all right, Lacy, how did you have to deal with the stigma of being a woman of color in STEM?
So I would say you really have to block out the negativity, because you all both share stories of people being shocked, and my goodness, that's never going to stop. It's like no matter how many accolades we can have, how many degrees we can have, how many certifications, they're still going to be surprised,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, my thing is, I just embrace it. I'm like, you don't think that I can accomplish this? Okay, well, let me show you. I'll show
Right.
you better than I can tell you. So I can tell you, yes, I know this, or yes, I know that, or I have this degree here, but let me show you, how I'm able to operate and how I'm able to, overcome these things. And I remember a situation in college where I actually had a male professor. I had came to him. I'm gonna be transparent. I failed my first organic chemistry exam.
Oh, organic chemistry. Oh,
Lord. Girl, me too.
Oh, that organic chemistry is no joke. So
it's not. It's not. The hardest class is it. If anyone has to take that, it's one of the toughest classes you will ever take in your life.
Yes. Yes.
And I went to, and I was like, oh, what? I was shocked. So I went to my professor for help, and just let him know, like, we've got to turn this around because I've got to figure out a way to get an A in your course. Regardless, like whatever I have to do, we've got to work together and figure this out because I can't fail your course. And I'm noticing I was one of those individuals. If I saw from the beginning, I wasn't the person who waited. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything, or I'm gonna wait. I'll try and just bring it up. No, I asked for help, and I remember when I asked him for help, I could just tell that the approach was different. With a male student that he was also working with. Oh, is she still here? Steph still here?
Oh yeah,
she's
coming back. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I could just tell the difference. His approach when a male student came to him asking for help, and then when I came to him for help. And in so many words, he basically looked at my test score and said, I don't know what to tell you. You're pretty much on your own. That's essentially.
Wow.
He said, you're way too far gone. It's basically there's no, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to help you. I can't get to the level that you're on to get you where you need to be. So I had to take matters into my own hands, and I said, okay, professor, fine. I said, but who in this class, I know you're not able to tell grades. I said, but who in this class can you point me to that's doing well that would potentially be able to help me? And he told me one of the students who had the highest grade on our last chemistry exam.
Okay.
And I went to that student and I asked him, I said, I'm struggling in this class. I said, and I heard you're doing pretty well. I said, I don't know how well, but I heard you're doing pretty well. I said, is there any way that you can help me? And he tutored me the entire semester, no charge at all. He told me that it helped him. Studying with me helped him.
Right.
Stay on top of everything. Next two exams, aced. Final exam, aced it. And the level of just pride and just excitement and just knowing that someone thought I was gonna fail. Someone thought that I wasn't worthy enough for the grade because they saw this grade and they're like, oh, this, this is the person in front of me. There's no way she's gonna be able to accomplish this. Like it's too impossible. Her grade's too low. And I just say that to say, like, you really do have to. It hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt.
Oh, definitely.
You're the professor. If you can't help me, who can?
Right.
I shook that off and I said, well, if he can't help me, somebody out there has to be able to help me. And so that goes to just, again, what we mentioned before, finding a mentor, finding somebody in the field that's going to be able to help you, and somebody that looks like you. That's the thing. Finding a mentor that looks like you, that's had a lot of the same experiences as you, that can help and assist you with how to combat the negative things and negative connotations that come about, people of color, women especially. So finding somebody that's gone through these things and can offer the right advice.
Did it freeze up?
Yeah.
There you go. You was talking away and it froze up on you.
The level of support that you need, and so just finding that mentor that's been through it, that can help you, can assist you, will go a long way. And not letting that negativity get to you. It's easier said than done, but that's a big thing, not letting it get to you,
And that's one thing I always talk about, be a self-advocate. And if you was not that advocate for yourself, you would have fell into his prophecy of what he expected you to be.
Exactly.
I got my own. I know what I want to do and what I'm capable of doing. All I needed to see what I was missing, like if something I was missing. And it's a shame that you had to go to someone else instead of the professor, because the professor should have been able to sit you down and say, hey, but they were so busy, and they're like, and like you said, he's looking at your color and thinking of, reality shows and, like, oh, she just in here, she's not going to make it and stuff. And he tried to write you out, but you like, I will not be written off. And I am, and that's what I said. We are not dimming our lights. We are shining. We are shining, and we are making sure that we have to be advocates for ourselves. And like you say, go get a mentor, get an advisor. And even though sometimes our mentors and advisors can look like us, you still got to make sure that they are still on the same wavelength, because some of them get intimidated because they have been that person for so long, the only one, and they live off that, because I just went to a school, I'm at a new school, and the one girl, she came up to me and she was just playing, but she's like, oh no, another one in the science department. I've been the only Black science teacher, for so long. Like, it's almost like I was going to take some of her shine. And I know she was just playing, but sometimes you got to look at people like, are you just playing or what? Like, like, I'm just going to do my job. Like, I don't need no titles and all of this. But sometimes, we want them to look like us, but we got to make sure that they still have that same vision and they actually really want to help us and not sabotage. Because some of them get intimidated by that. And as Black women of color, we have to stop doing that. We have to help each other. Because we all can succeed. Like I said, we can all succeed. And so I think that's awesome. Couple of things. My mom says hello. She's on. So, hey, Mom. She had said, as long as she likes to come in and see. And I was like, you got to see this one. It's my former students. So and it's so funny. She was just at church and she was like, someone was like, you miss, because, people still say Miss Williams, Miss Washington's mom. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I seen another one of your former students. I know where they were. She'll say a name. And I said, oh, I remember now, and stuff like that. So she says hi. Brandy Brown said this happened to her in physics when Stephanie was talking about, I think it was Lacy, or both of, when they don't just try to help you, or they look at you and think that you can't do what you need to do. And no, we're there for a reason. So Atiba Nelson says, blessed night, Queen. So hi, Atiba. Yes. And she says, Queens, I say, yes, we understand. All right, so we're gonna moving right along. Our next question kind of goes together, your future goals in giving back. So what are your future goals and how you plan on giving back? Like I said, because we want to make sure that we're making this trail, because, and I don't think I said what a STEMsation is at the beginning. Hold on. STEMsation is normally a woman of color in the fields of science, technology, engineering, math, so in STEM, that is a trailblazer in their field, but they're doing it with style and grace. And so we don't want to just be STEMsations where we're making this trail, but we're not pulling or reaching our hand back and grabbing those that are behind us. So our next question is kind of what are your future goals and how you plan on giving back to the community or someone in your field, or just how do you plan on giving back? And so Stephanie, we'll start with you with future goals and then we'll go from there.
So after I finish, like, I love being behind the bench and being a chemist and everything, but I know that's not where I need to be permanently. So I would love to be like a quote unquote famous scientist, like basically someone who speaks on at beauty expos or like the natural hair expo or like anything like that, to where I can sit down and really educate us on hair care and skincare, because there's so many things, especially with our natural hair. It's so new for us to be natural. I've always had natural hair, but most people didn't. So people believe everything. People believe, put this in your hair and it's going to grow it. People believe just whatever. And there's no scientist that's saying, hey, well, some scientists are saying it, but like most of us just kind of sit back instead of saying, hey, that's not going to work. Hey, don't use that in your hair. Whatever the case.
Can I jump in real quick, Stephanie? So you can put mayonnaise in my hair won't make it grow? Because I remember I heard mayonnaise. It's some other stuff that them old wives tell. Put mayonnaise in your hair. You sitting around smelling like a sandwich, and the hair still ain't grown. So no mayonnaise.
No, because those type of proteins will not get into your hair. That's the mayonnaise. The protein in mayonnaise is not the same as the protein in your hair. So it's like, I mean, you can't bring hair back to life. It's already dead. Like just things like that I feel like we need to know, because we're getting trapped into these gimmicks because these brands, trust me, like I see marketing at my job. Our brands come in and they tell us they're marketing, and we're just like, that marketing is not even real science. People don't know. So, because I'm a consumer as well. Before I was a scientist, I was a consumer. And I just want to really like sit and be on panels and like teach people like, hey, that's not true. That's not real. This is the real science. This is how you take care of your hair. This is how your skin works. Like, so people can actually know the truth, because it's so new to us on how to take care of it, especially our natural hair. And as far as giving back, like I have a passion, and I always talk about this to my mom, but I actually want to open up like a center, like an after school center for kids, especially like underprivileged kids, underrepresented kids, kids are at risk, or kids who are doubted in their STEM capabilities, to have that might have the interest, but they don't have anyone that's in the field, like a little Black boy who wants to be a doctor, but he doesn't know any doctors. He might have family who's incarcerated or on drugs, or just doesn't have the resources. So like a center where they can come and we can have people in different careers coming to speak to them. We can have different like STEM workshops, like, oh, let's make a quick lipstick today, or like, so it can be little scientists and little engineers, and like it's after school, they get tutoring, they get career coaching, college prep. Like I would love to open something like that, because I know for me, that would have been amazing to start from a young age and see that. And if your family can't show you the way, at least this center can. So that's like my ultimate goal.
And that's one of mine too. So I'm gonna have to talk to you about that, Stephanie, because that's something I'm working on there. Yes, so I definitely agree. Those are awesome goals, and I love the way that you want to give back, because I'm saying the same thing. So I'm loving it. Yes. All right. Oh, before we leave, Jennifer Griffin said, "Hello, Stephanie. I'm so proud of you."
Yeah.
I did it fine. All right, Lacy, let's hear about your future goals, Miss Physician. Yes.
So I am big on giving back, especially to influence young women of color, but young women across the board, to pursue a career in medicine. I've heard way too many times of individuals who I know personally who have given up because they felt like the journey was just too tough. The passion was there, the desire was there, but they just felt like it was too difficult of a journey for them to pursue. So they pursued other career paths and things like that. And not saying that career path isn't the better option for them, but what I want to do is start some type of mentoring program wherever I end up. I don't know where I'll end up. After all of this, after my career and all of that, but wherever I end up, I really want to start a program, especially within the inner city, because I feel like that what happens is, there's an interest, but it gets, blindsided by something else because, oh, that's easier. Or, a teacher told me, well, maybe you should look into this plan B, or maybe, yeah, that's nice that you want to be a doctor. That's cute, but maybe you should think about doing this instead. And so I never want there to be a child who wants to go into medicine, but is deterred because of someone telling them it's too difficult, or somehow they think it's too difficult themselves, and then, oh, I don't feel like I can do that. So one of my ultimate, really just in the long run, big goals is to start a mentorship program for anybody who has any type of interest in medicine, whether it's maybe becoming a PA, maybe becoming a physician, a nurse, not just, becoming a physician, but also understanding, what other options do you have in the healthcare field? Because there's so many other options that are also available. So maybe you don't want to be a doctor. Maybe, you want to be a therapist, or maybe you want to be a tech, or, something of that nature. But, just having a program where they do have that support that they do need. And then on a smaller scale, I'm the type where I just want to help anybody. If you want to shadow me, let me get the paperwork together. Let me see what I can do. Because honestly, I've had every physician that has allowed me to shadow them. That experience has helped me tremendously. Dr. Paul Winchester, their director of neonatology at St. Francis, he allowed me to shadow for an entire summer in the neonatal care unit. That's not easy to get a student to shadow in the NICU, just because of the sensitivity with the babies. Dr. Ashley Stallion, she's a black female, a phenomenal black female pediatrician that allowed me to shadow at her office. My uncle has allowed me to shadow at his hospital. Dr. Toby Coleman, she allowed me to shadow her at St. Vincent. So, I've been incredibly blessed to have individuals who have taken the time, to allow me to shadow them. And those experiences were so substantial for me in terms of solidifying, oh yes, this is exactly what I want to do. Without those shadowing experiences, it's just a thought, and the shadowing, it allows a manifestation of the thought, like, oh, that would be cool. I really am interested in this, and I'm studying this, and this is amazing. But when you get into the actual shadowing experience, you're like, wow, this is incredible. Like, I can see myself doing this, for the rest of my life when I do eventually get there, and all this hard work that's going to go into it, that it's going to be worth it, because this is what the position that I'm going to be able to be in one day. So from a small scale, just allowing individuals to shadow, becoming a mentor, and then on a larger scale, really establishing some type of, larger mentorship program for those who are even remotely interested in those fields. Get them shadowing, get them, the availability to talk with, to have a mentor already in the field that looks like them. That's what I see on a larger scale long term.
All right. And Brandy Brown said, this is great content and insight. Yes, it is, Brandy. Thank you. She put some hearts. I do want to say you guys have been awesome. We have one last question, but before we get there, I just want to thank you again. But Lacy, I think I know that shirt you have on. Yeah. Do you have the Knowledge Danae shirt on? Yay! I was like, wait, I think that's my shirt right there. It's always supporting. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you so much. All right, so our last question, and I love to end on this, is your family influence, because we know that family is a big part. And even if it's not your immediate family, you have a community, you have someone that has influenced you and helped you get to where you are. And so this time is for you to thank anyone along the way. This is like your Oscar acceptance speech. So you're thanking people and you just letting them know how they mean to you, because even if they haven't watched tonight, like, you can reshare it. We're going to eventually upload it to the YouTube, and we'll give you guys the link. You can always have it and use it and stuff. And also, ladies, you did such a great job. I am looking to branch this out, and so you guys can come on and be co-hosts. So, hey, yeah, I'm throwing it out there. Put that in there. I know you guys are busy, so we'll schedule ahead of time for that. But all right, so the question is, what is your family influence? Who has been a big part of your who has been major and influential in just where you are now and where you're going, and any shout outs that you may have? And this is like our last question before we end the broadcast, which I'm sad, but it's been great. So Stephanie, we'll start with you. Family influence.
Well, luckily for me, like, my family has always been on board with me being like the little smart girl. Like, I remember when I was little, everyone told my mom, oh, she's so smart and she's so polite and she's going to go far. She's going to be a doctor. And so I've heard that my entire life. I've never had anyone in my family say, why is she doing that? Why does she want to do this? That's not even for us. Like, never. But my mom, especially, like, from, you know, moving me from 38th in college to the east side to go to Lawrence.
Ooh, you better say that.
Right. And then just the fact that, you know, I was 5 years old in first grade and they were like, oh, let's put her in kindergarten again. My mom's like, no, she passed. Put her in first grade. And then, you know, her saying, test her for the stretch program. And having encouragement of, if I didn't do well, I'm crying over my grade and I'm mad thinking I'm gonna get in trouble. My mom goes, was that your best? Okay, then just go harder next time. So just having someone that when you fall, when you feel like you failed, my family's always like, well, you did great to me. You know, you like there's no way you can really fail. They didn't have exceedingly high expectations to where I felt pressure to fulfill it. So everything that I do is because I want to do it. You know, they never said you had to be in STEM. None of that. They just think it's amazing. So to see them and see my dad, he's always just looking at me and he's always like, oh, you just kept going. I'm so proud of you. Like, you know, my baby did it. And just having like, you know, I have a little sister who is 22 and she didn't even go to college right out of high school. But when I graduated undergrad, she said, you know what, I'm going to go and I'm going to go for nursing. Like, she's only a year younger than me, but she literally said, seeing you finish made me go. And then I have two little sisters, one's 8 and one's 5. They're at my master's graduation. Like, what's melanated and educated? Like, you know, what is that? And my little sister.
That was your hat. I remember that was top of your hat. I loved it.
Like my little sister, she got straight A's for the whole school year. She's one of like, I think it was like 20-something students in her whole school. So just seeing like the fact that what I'm doing is helping them and they can go further than I did because I did it is like the biggest thing. So just my family is my motivation, my encouragement. Like I love all y'all so much. Like, you know, I'll go hard for y'all. So just thank y'all for everything. Yeah. And my grandpa, shout out to my grandpa, rest in peace. Like, you know, he was always just wowed at everything I did. You know, he had an 8th grade education. So to see me even just going as far as I did for as long as he lived, I know he's just like smiling down. Like, I can't believe that someone that came from me did that. So
yeah, see, definitely. I did put your quote on here. My family never put limits on me. It always encouraged me being smart. And for that, I am grateful. Another one you said, my mom has been my biggest supporter throughout my educational journey. Growing up, she never told me I shouldn't pursue STEM because it is challenging. She connected me with women of color in the STEM field. So we want to shout out your mom. Great job, Mom. Yes. And it's so funny. Some of the things you say, people say that about Niva. Now, oh, she's so well behaved. She's so smart. We went to down here. They had Tom Joyner's family reunion, but like since the hurricane stuff was coming, it wasn't that crowded. But we went up and saw an astronaut, and he was filling out stuff, and Nana was like, "And I'm a scientist." And he was like, "Okay." He was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I'm a scientist." And so we got invited to go to the Kennedy Space Center and take a tour now for free, just because she walked up to him and told him she's a scientist. He was like, "Okay, well, we got to keep that, you know." But she's doing that at 4. And so, like I said, I always wanted to inspire girls, even in middle school, but then I started looking now. I'm like, we got to start even earlier because sometimes everybody didn't come into Craig Middle School like you guys did. I got some students that was like, I ain't want no science. I don't like math, you know, because they never was told they can do it. They never saw women of color as a science teacher or a math teacher, and they never had someone that said you can do it. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. You can figure out how to do everything else. You can figure out how to do this. So that's why I was like, you got to start early. So yeah. So she's like, I am a scientist. And JFR says, your village is your support. We love you, Stephanie. All right, Lacy, your family influence.
Oh my goodness. I am so blessed. My family is incredible. They have always supported me in what I wanted to do. And just like Steph was saying, you know, never have I ever heard from anyone in my family, for that matter, that my dreams are too big or, you know, I'm aiming too high. And that's honestly, people don't understand how big of a blessing that is, because even just one person questioning what you want to do can really make a significant impact and potentially deter you from what you're supposed to be doing. And my family has never, you know, made me feel like I was shooting too, you know, too high. My dad always told us, you know, shoot for the stars, and if you miss, you'll land on the moon. So you're still aiming high. So I'll never forget that. You know, he always told us that when we were growing up. to always aim high, always aim for that. And he was hard on me. My dad, he's probably harder on me than anybody, just because I know why now.
Yes.
When I was younger, I was like, oh my goodness, like, because I'm the oldest.
Right.
So I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so much pressure being the oldest. But now I know, now that I'm, grown, I understand that it's because he sees the potential that I have, and he does not want me to ever shortchange myself. And I remember when I was, I want to say 3 years old, I actually got a doctor's kit for Christmas, because at that point I had told my parents that I wanted to be a doctor. And so from even them doing, a gesture like that, gave me a little lab coat, had it embroidered Dr. Lacy on it. And I own my own doctor's kit as a 3 or 4 year old. I got that for Christmas and I absolutely loved it. I mean, was walking around with that thing for the longest. And I still have it. I still have that coat now, because I think back to that, and I think back to the fact that you've had this dream for this long, and it's a disappointment and it's a waste to everyone who supported you thus far if you don't go there, and if you don't accomplish what you're meant to accomplish. So my parents, they're absolutely outstanding. Both of them, my mom and my dad, always supportive. My uncle, oh my goodness, like I can't even, like, he's always supported me. The physician, he's always supported me. Never made me feel like, even as a doctor, never said, "Oh, I don't know, man," because obviously he's gone through it, so he knows it's tough. He knows it's hard, but never once has he said, well, maybe. I mean, it is pretty difficult. Maybe you want to look at this alternative, or maybe you want to look at this as a potential option, because he knows a lot of other areas in the medical field, of course, but never deterred me from that. All of the support of my extended family, my aunts, my other uncles, my friends. Oh my goodness, my friends are so supportive of me. Every person that I call a friend is so supportive of my journey. I even have friends that will wish me a happy National Doctors Day.
That's cute.
Little things like that, they go a long way. I mean, I have a friend, he calls me doctor every time he see me. Oh, doc, doctor, or something like that. And when he has an issue or something, he'll say something like, oh, well, you're the doctor, you tell me, what do you think?
That's what we need. Yes, that great encouragement. Yes.
It goes a long way, and people don't understand how those little things just keep you going. Because when I hear that, I'm like, that's gonna be for real one day.
Oh yes, I can't wait.
I'm gonna hear that one day, and somebody that I don't know, excuse me, are you the doctor? Well, yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
So it's amazing the support I've had, even from my church family. Like, they've always supported me, from when I was young. Because anybody who knows me has known that I wanted to be a doctor since I was a kid, a small kid. And nobody that has been on this journey has deterred me from that. People from growing up, I heard Dr. Lacy, Dr. Lacy, Dr. Lacy, from 4 to 7 to 10 to 15, and all the way until now. There's still people that I've known my entire life. Don't see them often, but every time I see them, that's the greeting I get. So it's awesome. It's a blessing to have that type of support. It just helps me to keep going, because, like I said, I'm not there yet, so it's a lot. It's a long journey ahead, and it's just really incredible to have the type of support system that I have. So I'm definitely thankful and blessed.
I put one of your quotes up. It says, "I would not be the woman I am today without their love, support, guidance, and most of all, prayers. I love and appreciate them so much." I should have put Dr. Lacy Watts, but I
right, doctor. Okay,
we put it out there in the universe. It will happen.
Well, like, you reminded me of that too, because you were saying, like, your friends and family and stuff, and I was like when I posted my graduation photos and just seeing people constantly share. I was just like, I thought people just gonna like and move on, but I'm like, y'all are sharing and saying, like, actually typing out words of how you're proud, like that. I was like, wow, like, people are like really like proud, like, it makes you realize, like, you don't even know how big your support system is sometimes until you actually do something. You're like, dang, they've been rooting for me this whole time.
That's a good one, because you're right. It's not always people that you talk to every day or people that you call friend. Like, I've gotten support from people I haven't talked to in the longest. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm so proud of you. Like, you're inspiring me. And that's incredible, because you're right, Seth. You really don't know the whole support system that you have behind you until, like you said, something big happens and people are like, oh my gosh, I've been waiting for this. Like I knew you would do it. Like it's pretty awesome. It really is.
Right, because even with like the book and stuff that I read, people like I haven't talked to in ages. They was like, "How's the book going?" I was like, "What book you talking?"
Right.
The book, my book. Like they see, and even like we said, social media. Once again, people sometimes don't respond on everything you put out there, but when they do, it's like because they've been watching, they see it. They just don't have to respond. And then when you're doing something like graduating or putting something out there, starting something new, they're quick, and you're like, man, I didn't even know they were there. So it's even those people that encourage you to keep going because you're like, I didn't even know they were watching. You know, I didn't know they was keeping up what I was doing. So that's awesome. And so I'm definitely gonna keep watching, guys, and I'm gonna keep sharing and supporting. And we definitely got to do this again. You know,
with Dr. Watts.
Yes. And then and when you unveiling your new hairline product, and I can be the first one because I'm like, okay, because I took out my locks, the lady, because we're doing a hurricane. And so this was the hair that was underneath. I was like, oh, well, this is kind of cute for a while. I said,
right?
I was like, well, I'm going to keep this before I take this out because then I got to get to my hair. And I hate doing my hair. I'm like, because I've been going to the hairstylist since I was 5. So me and my mama never touched this. So now I'm like, and then, you know, moving somewhere new, you got to try to find somebody who can do it. That's why I keep it braided or something. So I was like, gotta find
if
something.
you know someone in South Florida, Lacy, please let my mom know. She lives in like the West Palm, Boynton Beach area, Sunrise, all that, and she be struggling. So
I got her.
It's hard. You be like, yep. So I understand. Well, ladies, I'm gonna, you know, we ain't gonna hold you any longer, but I just want to thank you guys. Like I said, we're gonna keep in contact, keep in touch, because I can see just what you guys want to do, mentoring stuff. I want to open up something that we got to talk about later. So definitely keep in touch. I think we can all work together because we all have the same passion, same vision, and we come from the same, you know, place and stuff. So, and I just love to see what you guys are doing. So I just want to say thank you. Have a STEMsation week. And just keep being great, STEMtastic, because you guys are just rocking it, and I love it. And don't let anybody dim your light. Your light is shining so bright, and we just want to continue to be in just all of you guys. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, guys. Our viewers, please, thank you guys for showing up. Miss Carr says, Miss Carr, awesome interview, ladies. Thank you for your vision. Thank you. I just want to say thank you, guys. Please share, like, comment, post in different groups that you're in. Just keep this going. We want to keep the conversation going with comments and different things. If you have not read their article, I added the links to their direct article. Read their article, leave comments, share. We have updated it. We've added new pictures and stuff. So it's 2019 ready now. You know, each year I got to keep up with my girls and see what they're doing. So thank you guys. Have a sensational week. Ladies, you don't hang up yet. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but you stay on one more minute. All right, guys. Thank you so much.